Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, dear students. So today we'll learn about punctuation. What is punctuation? What is the meaning of punctuation? What are the different punctuation marks? And how do we use the punctuation in our daily life? So it is a very common saying that reading is like breathing in, writing is like breathing out. So it means that if we don't use the punctuation marks, our message will not be clear for the reader and there will be confusion, and the message will be totally misunderstood if we don't use the punctuation marks. So what is the definition of punctuation? Punctuation is set of symbols, marks that are used in writing to separate the sentences and their elements to clarify the meaning. It means that these are various symbols like comma, like full stop. If we don't use these symbols within our writing, within our sentences and phrases, so the meaning of these sentences will not be clear. The meaning will not be clear if we don't use these symbols at the correct place within the sentence or within the phrase. So what are some of the most common type of punctuation marks? This is comma, full stop, question mark, exclamation, speech mark, colon, semicolon, dash, hyphen, apostrophe, ellipsis, parenthesis, slash, bracket. So other than these also there are some punctuation marks, but these are some of the most common punctuation mark. Now we are going to look at these punctuation marks one by one. What is comma? Comma is often used to separate different ideas in the sentences. Mark went by bus and Allison. So we are talking about Mark and we are talking about Allison. So what Mark did and what Allison did, we are separating the action of those through the use of comma. Then comma separates the item in the list. So if we are going to give a list or talking about many items, so all these items we can list down or we can separate by commas, like apple, peaches, grapes, orange. So all these we can separate through comma. Comma is used to directly address someone, like you are going to party this weekend, aren't you? So directly address, when we are addressing somebody, when we finish addressing, then we can put the comma. Tag questions at the end of the sentence. James, what are you going to do tomorrow after school? So we are addressing here someone, and here we are actually putting, this is other way around. We are addressing James. Okay, so we are putting a comma here. Okay, and we are tagging a question. So at the end of the question there is a comma. Okay, so then there is an exclamation mark. So yeah, next slide. Okay, so we are going to talk about the full stop. We also say period and then the question mark. Full stop, it indicates the end of a sentence. Okay, for example, we feed this cat every evening. So sentence is finished. So to identify that we have finished the sentence, okay, we put a comma to follow an abbreviation for like Mr. Brown. So we use an abbreviation for Mr. After the abbreviation, we put a full stop to mark the end of the abbreviation and start the sentence. Question mark is very easy. Like when we are asking any question, we use the question mark to identify and to give a message to the reader that we are asking a question mark. Yes, next please. Speech mark, okay, it starts with a double comma and ends with a double comma. Actually this indicates the beginning and end of a quotation. For example, somebody speaks something, okay, so exactly what he said, we want to quote that in the sentence. So this is used with the speech mark. Then exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is normally used to express the excitement or anger or happiness. Okay, so the examples are like leave me alone. Okay, I am so happy to see you. So this exclamation mark denotes the happiness or the anger or some kind of emotion of the person who is speaking. Yeah, then we use the semicolon. Okay, introduce a list, explanation or code, like types of punctuation. Then we put a semicolon and then it will be followed by a list. So if you want to give a list or we want to give an explanation, for example type of punctuation, then the explanation paragraph will follow. So this is the colon. Then semicolon creates a longer pause than the comma but a shorter pause than the full stop, so it can be used to create a pause between the two independent clauses. For example, you want to talk about uh, one thing, then related but another thing. My mother is a doctor, my father is an accountant. Okay, so one thing is followed by another. If it also follows by another one, then another semicolon you can give. So normally, when we are writing some list in the bullet points, okay, one by one, then normally we put the semicolon in this one. Yeah, next please. Dash or hyphen. Okay, so hyphen, first of all we'll talk about hyphen, then we'll come to dash. It's most commonly used to create compound words. Compound words mean there are two words which are interconnected, and they give a meaning only by connecting both the words. So okay, so there we are using hyphen. He's a very self-confident person. So self-confident, we use this word through joining these words by hyphen. Then we have dash. There are two different dashes, the N dash and the M dash, the first being slightly shorter than the second one. The N dash is usually used to show a connection between the two things, like London Paris flight. Okay, so the flight is going from London to Paris, but we are showing the connection. Okay, likewise, we want to give a range of the page numbers, like page 45 to 78, so we use the dash to give this one. Yeah. So now apostrophe and ellipsis. Apostrophe, first of all, apostrophe explain the possession. Okay, for example, like Sally's sister. We need to invite both of Sally's sister to the party. So Sally's sister, this is the possessive word. So we use apostrophe to mark the possession. You might need to write a fraction, a measurement, or suggestive. Uh, Okay, so in this case, you will have to use a slash. Okay, so it's written about fraction and slash actually. Okay, but if you want to, for example, write a short form of a sentence, then don't. Okay, so we are joining comma with this one. Okay, then ellipsis. These are the three continuous periods. Okay, so you want to like explain something, or it's a mystery text written as the consecutive periods creates an intriguing and mystery atmosphere in the text. In addition, it can be used to show that some letters or even the words are omitted. So what happened next? So it keeps you thinking about what happens next. Okay, so we use this ellipsis in that space. Yeah. So then the parentheses or brackets to contain further thoughts. For example, you are writing something, but you don't want to disconnect the sentence, and at the same time you want to give any further information. So use the parentheses or brackets. Like my younger just love daughters just love playing with our neighbor's dog, but you also want to give the age of those daughters. So you are saying my younger daughter aged 5 and 17 within the bracket just love playing with our neighbor's dog. So next, yeah, so this was something about the punctuation marks. So we learned about the rules of the punctuation and some of the most common punctuation marks. Yeah, Rahima, any question from your side? Okay. Okay. Ibrahim, any question from your side?
No.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, guys, for the presentation, for like being here and attending the lecture. So thanks a lot, everybody. Thank you very much.